Welcome back. Here today with Judge Chris Patterson, talking about upcoming Law Day 2015, more importantly, Justice Teaching Initiative. Thanks for taking the time today. This is something that caught our eye collectively, and it works out perfectly with you being here today. What is justice teaching?
Let me tell you, Paul, if you will watch Jimmy Kimmel, if you'll watch any of the Man on the Streets interview, I dare say the vast majority of kids in the country have no idea about our three system of government, have no idea who our vice president is, has no idea how a bill becomes law, or what a judge does, or what even their rights are. And so this was the brainchild of then Chief Justice Fred Lewis back in 2006 from the Florida Supreme Court, saying we need to get the attorneys, the judges into our local schools and teach the Constitution. And so since 2006, what was born out of that idea is the Justice Teaching Initiative. And it's at justiceteaching.org is the website. What it does, it marries up individual schools with attorneys or judges, and those attorneys and judges pledge to come back and teach at least 1 hour a month in that particular school, to average. And oftentimes judges or attorneys will teach entire days to the local civics classes. Now, the program itself is tailored to all levels of the education system, from elementary school, middle school, and high school. We've even taken these to adult education, which is a little outside of our parameters. The website itself has all of the lesson plans, has all of the PowerPoints. You're not recreating the wheel. And what the Justice Teaching Initiative allows then is for us to use plans that we know are solid, in the case law, solid in the teaching elements that we're trying to achieve as we go to the schools. So we can control the information. Kids are learning in their civics classes and elsewhere from the attorneys in their area, the judges in their area, and it has been a marvelous way to educate a small segment. We're looking to take this to anybody who would have us come in and teach these classes, a day, an hour, a couple hours. We are volunteers. It's a purely volunteer project, statewide, and it's a project that's making a difference in kids' lives.
Correct me if I'm wrong, we're really not teaching civics per se in school as a regular course anymore anyway, are we?
Actually, in the 8th grade around the state, we do get some civics or government classes.
Okay.
And the way this project works in the most effective manner is the local teacher that is teaching that class is aware of the program, is versed in the principles that are on the website, and the judge then works with that teacher year after year to make sure that we're tailoring our lesson plans to meet her educational needs as well as the educational requirements that the kids may have. But all in all, teachers get more involved. We've gotten all the superintendents in the 14th Circuit involved. Our problem is we've got more classes that need volunteers, and we don't have enough lawyers and judges helping out. Primarily lawyers is what we need. We need the help of the volunteers. This is a project that we can do every year. Oftentimes we tie it to the Law Day celebrations. Gives us another chance to go back into the classroom. Many volunteers are going monthly. Many are going at least quarterly. But it's a year-round project and something that is thriving and has been for the last 9 years.
Is this peculiar to Florida?
It is unique to the Florida school system. I'm sure Supreme Courts in other states have similar aspirational goals. But Justice Lewis at the time wanted attorneys to get out of their offices, judges to get out of their courtrooms, get into the community, be the example for these kids. And it's taken hold, and it's taken hold around the state. You see success stories up and down, not only the Panhandle, but also the Peninsula. It's a wonderful project and something that we encourage all teachers, if you're at all interested, contact me here in Chipley or in Holmes County. Contact any judge. we'll get you that information. We'll try to marry up that volunteer. We've got the lesson plans ready to go. And the kids, I'll tell you, I'm seeing kids now that I was teaching back in '06 and '07 that are wanting to go to law school now. So we're making a difference.
The benefits that I see are multifaceted. Number one, you've got the educational component, which in and of itself is huge, and if that's all you got, that would be wonderful. But you've also got a fostering of an appreciation and hopefully a love for the law, so that if somebody has aspirations of becoming paralegal or an attorney or perhaps even all the way up to being a judge or beyond. But to me, it seems like the most important part is that networking, that familiarity with our court system, and more importantly with those people. So you're meeting attorneys, you're meeting judges, and if you have to deal with the court system at some time, what better preparation than having met some of these people, or at least being familiar with the process? Otherwise, you're just typically scared, even under the best of conditions. So this has to help in that networking, in that familiarity with the system, and like I say, more on a personal level with the folks in that system.
There's an interesting synergy we're beginning to see. We're beginning to see a number of these students, especially in the 14th Judicial Circuit, that are taking the information that we're teaching, and I want to get back to that because it's not just a lecture teaching that we're using, but taking that information, and then they are volunteering themselves in the local teen courts. And they are getting involved while they're in high school, middle school, learning more about advocacy skills. Then they're using that as they go on to college and higher education in different fields as well. So the biggest thing I think that we're teaching, though, is critical thinking. These lesson plans are designed for student participation. They don't need, much like adults don't need, people sitting and lecturing at them for an hour at a time. We need to get the kids engaged in the lesson plans. And so in some cases, we'll do actual case studies of Supreme Court cases that are of note. Let them think about how they might decide. We get them involved in at the elementary school level, at some of the lesson plans that just familiarize them with the government, the branches of government, and who may do what. And at the middle school level, which is where we think we're making great progress, is we're getting them involved in some actual individual right awareness and having them discuss what those rights mean, the give and take as to an individual's right versus what society may need as well. It is the critical component that we get the kids engaged in this process. Don't talk at them, let them talk to us. And then we're getting the true feedback.